Good morning, my eighth graders. It's Saturday morning, about 9:30-ish. I just wanted to make this video just to go over everything that you might need to get caught up on this project or get rolling early. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen to an announcement post that I shared yesterday, but I just updated it to include the last grit response. So let's get into it. Here it is. Posted it like after school-ish. Um, First off, I have an example grit statement that I wrote. I do believe it was last year. It was about a book that I read called The Schoolhouse Gate. Um, and this is kind of what your grit statement is going to look like. Got an intro paragraph, using parts of the book to kind of introduce the statement. This is how I want you to use the Apache Way. Note that I have the quote from the Apache Way and then an explanation. In the quiz on Friday, I had you answer a question about how the author addresses misconceptions. So what I was looking for was a quote and then an explanation of the quote. And that's, again, that was practice. And this is something that I would like to go over on Monday when we're in class. Next paragraph, this is the passion paragraph, and it pretty much just describes why I liked it. This one talks about the struggles of reading it. So, like, how did you complete this project? Here is an example of that. I go through a lot of the things that I personally had to manage my time over. And when it comes to grit response number 9, this paragraph in your statement is really going to come from grit response number 9 in your quiz. So a lot of you mentioned struggles like balancing your time or getting over the confusion of what I'm trying to ask you to do. That's awesome. Yeah. Pretty much what I'm going for there is just honesty. And this one is the final paragraph, final body paragraph. This is just the one that describes what's going on. And my topic, in this case, it was a book. So I just talked about the book. In your project, in your statement, since you are probably doing a topic and not a book, all you want to do is just inform the reader. Like, the easiest way that I can explain it is, imagine the reader knows absolutely nothing about your project, or about your topic, that is, and go from there. What are the most necessary pieces of information that you need to understand the topic? As you can see here, the Schoolhouse Gate is a book about Supreme Court decisions that involve school. And I just basically said what it is, what it's about, and how long it is. But for you, your topic is probably going to be a little bit different. Like, if your topic is basketball, all right, well, what does somebody need to know about basketball to understand your topic? And everybody's answer is going to be different. The important thing is that you make an attempt at it. And if there are any questions that I have, I know I'm going to probably ask you another question about it in the presentation. So again, we've got a conclusion, we've got an introduction, and if you look at this statement, it's not that long. Let's just go ahead and count the paragraphs to make sure we got it all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 paragraphs. That's it. Next, here are the questions that you are going to be asked in the presentation. not only do you have to prepare for these questions to respond to them, you also have to prepare to ask them. Um, and again, when you're up there, one thing that I ask that you do is pay attention to what other questions have been asked before. That way, you don't ask different or the same question twice. We don't want to waste the person's time that is presenting. They'll have 3 minutes to say their paper, 3 minutes to um, respond to questions. And again, I'm grading you on your ability to ask different questions when you're up there. Just real quick buzz through. How does your book or topic display grit? Remember, grit is passion and perseverance for your long-term goals. Or as I keep saying in class, grit is giving a crap and being okay to suffer for the things that you give a crap about. Question 2, what issues did you have to persevere through during this project? Again, that's something right from grit response number 9 in the grit quiz. Next, why did you choose the mentor text, essentially? Why did you choose this article to type or read out loud? Just tell me a brief explanation of why you did that. Question 4 is a fun one. If you were to create a soundtrack to your topic, what songs would you include on the soundtrack and why? A lot of your topics are, like, some of you are actually studying music types or specific bands. It's okay to stick to that. Like for me, I would easily include Taylor Swift songs, but there's other songs that I could easily swing in there to just kind of explain how I came about liking that soundtrack, other music that I'm listening to at the time. That's fine. Question number 6, who's your favorite character from the book or topic and why? You'll notice in this updated response that I've got grit response number 10 up there. Grit response number 10 talks about important people in your topic. So again, is it exactly related to this particular question? Yes and no. Yes, because it is talking about important characters, and no, the important characters in your topic could be different from your favorite character. Question 7, this one is pretty much just asking you a lot of those grit responses from earlier in the grit responses. Like what are an important location, important places, important categories or regions? How does your topic relate to the environment? So human environment interaction. And how does your topic display movement? How does your topic move? That 5 theme style wild card, that's what I mean by that. And then the last question, remember, I am asking that you read at least 10 articles, and I've only essentially graded that you've read 2, with the nonfiction reading check and grit response number 8, which was the mentor text, where you had to read the article out loud or handwrite the article until you've got 2 pages filled up. This one here, I would like for you to be honest. You either are going to say yes and describe maybe your favorite article, something that you learned the most from, or you're going to be honest and you say, no, I didn't, and explain why. This is just a question to kind of put you on the spot a little bit, to make you think about actually following through with the responsibilities that you're asked to do. It's almost like if you're an athlete and you have to train all summer or all winter long for your sport. Did you do the proper exercises? Did you eat well? And ultimately, those questions are answered when you play your sport. But in this project, I'm asking that you do it now, or at least be like held accountable to it right now. The grit statement outline. This is something that I made for my Taylor Swift statement. And it's just there to kind of give you a brief overview of everything that I would probably start thinking about now to get your statement written. I have all of the 4 core questions. How did you schedule the completion of your topic? Why did you choose this topic? What is going on? And examples of the Apache way. Those are the 4 questions that you have to answer in the 4 body paragraphs. And below that, I've got some helpful hints. Um, they don't have to be in this order, those 4 paragraphs. As long as you answer all 4, it's all good. Next, including an introduction and conclusion paragraph. Make sure you have that. Remember, I'm looking for 6 paragraphs. A lot of you just like to write a lot, and that's okay. But remember, I'm not going for length. If you look at my example statement, it's not that long. When I read it, I know it's going to be close to 3 minutes long. And the only way to get there is practice, practice, practice. Now, if you're an easy way to go about doing that is thinking about the math here. If your paper is going to be 3 minutes long with 6 paragraphs, that's 180 seconds. So 180 seconds divided by 6, that's 30 seconds. So if you're writing your paragraphs paragraph by paragraph, each one that you write is going to be approximately 30 seconds. And you try to get there as much as you possibly can. This is an outline for me I made last weekend. Again, it's an introduction, why I chose the topic, how did I schedule the completion of the topic or project within the time frame. So, I dropped the project a couple weeks ago. We've been on it for a few weeks. This is the last week of the project. Things to consider there. Examples of the Apache way. Again, this is something that I'd like to go over on Monday, just so you and I are perfectly clear on what I want from this particular paragraph. All year in standardized tests, whatever, you're going to have to use text evidence. And it's very important that you grab something from a text and relate it to something else. Sometimes a question is going to give you like, hey, use text evidence from the article to answer this particular question. According to the text states, sentence stems like that are really good to use. The final paragraph here that's in the body section, I suppose, is just describing your topic, what is going on. And this is actually a pretty good start. If you think about your topic, what is going on? So Taylor Swift, born in Reading, Pennsylvania, moved to Nashville, and so on. And then last paragraph is going to be a conclusion. Summarize everything that you've got. All right, so down here, there's a blank space. That's a Taylor Swift song. Just do your own outline below here. You can insert text boxes through Notability if you download this and put this into Notability, or you can just handwrite it right there. Or you can just use an actual piece of paper and outline it like that. Okay, next, this is the example of the Apache way. Or the Apache way document. So what you are going to do on Monday is you're going to find any quote from this document and connect it to your topic. So what I would do for this on Monday, I'm going to tell you to download this into Notability and highlight important phrases that you think are going to show up in your paper and your topic. So I'm not going to talk too much about that right now, simply because I'm going to explain it here in about 48 hours. Next, this is something that me and a student did over their topic in advisory. And what I've got here is just, I've got the student's topic right there in the middle and article ideas. So the check marks are the articles that I know the student has read because the student completed grit response number 8, and they also completed the nonfiction form. So this student's topic is business or entrepreneurship. And one thing I suggested to this student was, okay, after completing this article about a person, that's Madam C.J. Walker, another one about the glass ceiling, which if you're in second period, you'll hear about it, what that is. I don't want to explain it now, but I've got suggestions for 8 other articles for the student to read. And what I would do is just kind of make a visual like this for yourself if you need help thinking about your topic and start dipping into other areas. So if the student's topic is business and entrepreneurship, I suggested to the student that they research modern trends in business, what kind of education, that's ED, that the student would need to get into business and entrepreneurship. I've got a couple of companies that the student could research, like Netflix or Amazon, what particular skills the student would need to have success in business and entrepreneurship. The 19th there, that means the 19th Amendment. This particular student is in fact female, maybe. I don't want to give the identity away, but for me personally, if this student wants to get into entrepreneurship, this particular student needs to understand some of the barriers that in the past, people that wanted to get into entrepreneurship could have faced. And the 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote. And as soon as women got the right to vote, they started to become empowered in other ways. There's a topic there, it just says modern women in business. Start studying that or find interesting or important people related to that particular topic. So if you're sitting there at home and you're watching this video, pretty much what I'm going for there is, hey, research other parts of your topic. And then I've got all of the other links to everything else there, including grit response number 10. With that being said, I'm going to go enjoy my Saturday. I want you to enjoy your Saturday. Actually, it's going to be Sunday when I post this, but that's all good. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday.